Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Political Excess. Today, we've got another hypothetical 2024 presidential matchup for you. It's another far-fetched one. This time, it's Cory Booker for the Democrats, Larry Hogan for the Republicans. Before I get into it, this channel is now 6 months old, well over 200 videos, and this channel just hit 100 subscribers, so let's see how quickly we can get it up to 200. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Having said that, let's jump right into this here. Safe states over a 10-point margin, likely 5 to 10, lean under 5 points, and tilt under 1 point. First off, I think Cory Booker is an acceptable candidate for the Democrats. He's won some Senate races, he has some appeal. He would not do good in the rural areas. Larry Hogan, on the other hand, for the Republicans, he would also not do well in the rural areas. He would make up for some of that in the suburban areas, but it wouldn't be enough to offset what I think would be several points worse than Donald Trump did here in 2020. So let's start in Alaska. That I have as likely for Larry Hogan. That core Republican base mostly won't turn out for him, but I still think in a state like Alaska, he would be able to win it over someone like Cory Booker. Hawaii, that would be easy safe for Cory Booker. Back up to the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, those would easily be safe for Cory Booker. I think Larry Hogan would do a little bit better than Trump in all three of those states, but it would still be easily a 10-point loss, especially in California. Nevada, I have that as a lean for Cory Booker. It's close to likely, but I still think Larry Hogan, he has enough of a moderate appeal to not get completely wiped out in Clark County. So I think Booker would win that by 5, maybe 6 points. Idaho and Utah, safe for Hogan. Arizona, lean for Cory Booker. Probably similar to Nevada. The Phoenix suburbs, areas like that, would do a little bit better for Larry Hogan. However, the Trump areas would not want to come out, and that would completely wipe out any gains Hogan has in the more purple areas. So Booker would win that by 4 or 5 points. Montana and Wyoming, safe for Hogan. Colorado, safe for Booker. That's got to be low double digits. Some of the Denver suburbs are going to be more amenable to Larry Hogan, but those Trump counties, they're not going to come out for Hogan. They view him as a total rhino, and they would stay home. New Mexico, likely for Cory Booker. Again, Larry Hogan here would have marginal appeal in the suburbs, not much in the rural areas, and in the urban areas, a lot of people are not going to come out to vote against Larry Hogan. So he would do a little bit better in that regard, as well as other urban areas. But I still think Cory Booker would take that by 6 to 8 points. North Dakota, South Dakota, safe for Hogan. Nebraska at large, safe for Hogan. In that second district with Omaha, I have that as a tilt for Cory Booker. Surrounding Omaha, that is a spot Larry Hogan would do better than Donald Trump, just not enough to get over that hump, and Booker would win that by about 1 point. Kansas and Oklahoma, safe for Hogan. Texas, likely for Hogan. Here again, the suburbs around Austin, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio. Hogan would do a little bit better, I think, than Donald Trump, but those many deep red counties are not going to come out at the rate they would have for Trump. So it would appear Booker does better in those areas, but really it's Hogan doing worse. I think this would be a mid to high single-digit win for Larry Hogan. Up to Minnesota, that is a likely for Booker. This is a state where it seems like the Republicans cannot compete on a presidential level. So if they try someone more moderate like Larry Hogan around the Twin Cities, yeah, I think it would do a little bit better. But I think a lot of people would actually just want to support Cory Booker, even if he is going up against Larry Hogan. I think Minnesota would vote for Larry Hogan if it was a really bad Democrat. But in this case, I still think Booker pulls it out by 5 to 6 points. Let's move on to Iowa. I have that at a lean for Larry Hogan. I think he would win that comfortably by at least 5 points, but it might not be too much over that, so I have it at lean. I think a lot of the modern Republican base would not come out for Larry Hogan. They would not be enthused at all to support that guy, and thus Cory Booker would end up making it look relatively close in Iowa. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Hogan. Those are states where it would just be tough for any Democrat to get under 10. Wisconsin, lean for Cory Booker. As I've been saying in many of these other states, the red areas, they're not going to turn out. Yes, Hogan would do better in the suburban areas, but not enough to win that state. Booker would carry that by 3 to 4 points. Illinois, safe for Booker. Michigan, likely for Booker. Michigan is a state where I don't see Hogan really having any appeal. He's definitely not the worst candidate, but in an old Rust Belt state like this, I think Booker would resonate more. It wouldn't be a blowout. I just think Hogan would lose by 5 to 6 points. Indiana, I still have safe for Hogan, but low double digits. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, all safe for Hogan. Florida, that I have as a tilt for Cory Booker. That could go either way. I don't think Hogan has really any appeal in the South. There's a lot more Republican vote in the South. That would be enough to keep it at a tilt loss for Larry Hogan. But the Panhandle, they're not going to come out for Hogan. Even if he does better in the I-4 corridor or around Orlando, I think Booker would do a little bit better in Miami-Dade and in Broward counties. Up to Georgia, I think that'd be a lean for Booker. Suburbs are trending toward the Democrats. Larry Hogan on the ballot would slow that down a little bit. But in exchange, all those rural counties, yet again, would not come out for Hogan, and Booker would win that by 1 to 3 points. South Carolina, still safe for Larry Hogan. North Carolina, lean for Cory Booker. Similar to Georgia, I think Larry Hogan would lose that still by 1, maybe 2 points. Let's go over to Ohio. I had that as a lean for Larry Hogan. Ohio is trending to the right. Larry Hogan is not the ideal candidate for all those Ohio counties that trended toward Trump. So again, a good percentage of them would stay home. Hogan would do a little bit better in some of the suburbs, and he would win that by about 5 points. West Virginia would be safe for Hogan. Let's go up to Maine at large. That is a likely for Cory Booker. First district, I have that as safe for Booker, and in the second district, I have that as lean for Booker. Now, the Northeast is where Larry Hogan starts to have more of a local appeal, and he's a better fit to run for office. That second district in Maine, I still don't think he is best suited for, and he would still lose that by probably a low single-digit margin. In New Hampshire, that is a tilt for Cory Booker. This would be a very close state. Hogan does start to gain more traction here with his moderate appeal, so I could see him winning it. I just think Booker would end up slightly doing better due to the Trump base staying home. Vermont, New York, and Massachusetts are safe for Booker. Connecticut, I have that as likely for Cory Booker. Trump lost Connecticut by, I think, less than 14 points. I could see Hogan getting that down into the high single digits, 9, maybe 10 points. With a bad Democratic candidate, Connecticut is another state where I think Hogan would do much better, and he could even make it competitive. Rhode Island, that is similar to Connecticut, but I think that would be just over 10 points for Booker. Jersey, Booker's home state, that would be safe for him there. Delaware, that's another New England state where I think Hogan could have just enough appeal to get it down under 10 points. And how about Maryland? Larry Hogan's home state. He might be a popular governor, but if this was for president, he would do much better than anybody else, but I have it at a lean for Cory Booker. Not sure of the margin, maybe 4, maybe 5 points. Pennsylvania, I have that as a lean for Booker. It's probably 4 or 5 points there, similar to Maryland, actually. Our neighboring states, Larry Hogan could have a little bit more appeal there than in a place like Michigan, so that could be enough there to keep it at a lean. Washington, D.C., that, of course, is safe for Booker. And finally, the last state is Virginia. That I have as a likely for Booker. Hogan would have much, much more appeal there in the northern suburbs around D.C. than Donald Trump or some of these other Republicans would. I just don't think it's going to be enough to get it down to a lean. And then, of course, again, in the red counties, Western Virginia, they're not coming out for Larry Hogan, and he would lose by probably 5.5 to 9 points. So that is my map, and that would result in 350 electoral votes for Cory Booker, 188 for Larry Hogan. It's kind of a blowout for Cory Booker. He would win. I just don't see Larry Hogan. He's not the right candidate at this point in time for the Republicans. As I said, he would do okay, but Cory Booker, he's a much better candidate. He's not great, but he's much better than Larry Hogan. And this is the map I've settled on. You could probably change 2 or 3 of these states around, but let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with this map, basically, or do you disagree on 1 or 2 or 3 of these states? And if you enjoy this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.